It is a great pleasure that we are about to be joined on stage by a footballer that defined a generation and a man that has gone on to achieve an incredible amount both within and outside sport since retiring. He comes to Web Summit today alongside Jürgen Griesbeck of Common Goal to pose an important question to the tech community. Please give a huge welcome to the king, Eric Cantona.
As long as I can remember, football has played a leading role in my life. The football pitch was the first stage where I performed. First, without an audience, as a young boy in the streets of Marseille. Later as a professional at Old Trafford. Like no other sport, football brings people together, frees their minds, ignites their passion. The game reaches billions all over the world, and it has the power to make an incredible difference in people's lives and communities. A world that is frayed as it seems, that has burning issues we need to tackle. This world needs football more than ever before. Together, let's play for change, for the better of our world.
So it was me, about 1 year ago, visiting a community, just a few streets from here, where football is supporting people suffering social exclusion, poverty, and homelessness.
And this is only one of many thousands of communities around the world that are using football as a tool to empower young people to transform their communities. My first experience was in Colombia in 1996, in Medellin, where groups in armed conflict put down their weapons in order to play together. So this was where my journey started.
In that year, we won the double with Manchester United. And I scored the winning goal in the FA Cup final at the last minute of the game against Liverpool at Wembley, in front of 80,000 people. The atmosphere was unbelievable. That's something that I will never forget.
I, at that time, started to understand the incredible power of football to drive change.
I understood the immense power of football to inspire and unite.
From putting down guns
to lifting glory.
And that's the same passion that's actually happening in real life, every day, everywhere.
In the drama and entertainment of a packed stadium.
On dusty fields and muddy backyards.
With the newest boots.
Or barefoot in the sand.
Played with a ball.
A stone or a can.
Different places, different people, same passion.
Over the past 20 years, we have seen football empower young people, transform communities, save lives. All over the world, we have surfaced hundreds of entrepreneurs who have been using football as an accelerator of development in their very communities.
In parallel, the football industry has developed into an economic powerhouse with double digits percentage growth, even during the global financial crisis and despite a massive reputational crisis. My parents never told to me or my brothers about fame or money, raised about enjoyment, love of the game, the love of working hard, love of winning, the love of coming back even stronger after losing a game. Never about money. I have heard that now some parents speak to their kids too much about fame and money. Money, poverty, growth for growth's sake. I've started to wonder if we are losing the essence of the game.
Yeah, it's actually football generating massive financial resources here and saving lives there. It's like two worlds apart, like if it wasn't happening on two different planets. As a response to that, we created Common Goal. The idea of Common Goal is actually to create a systemic bridge between football for good and football for profit. Let's just have a quick look at a video.
Solidarity, respect, equality, passion. Let's act together and bring these values to every single place.
Like no other sport, football brings people together. A world that has burning issues we need to tackle needs football more than ever before.
We are together because we believe in the power of football to change life in different countries, different situations.
Sport doesn't care about who you are, where you're from. When you're on the pitch, you're all working together for the same goal. That's what's going to help you achieve your goals in the end.
As a footballer, it's really important to take on responsibility. You're in a privileged position to be able to influence people, so I think it's so important that people use that for good.
いろんな国の選手、大陸の選手が集まり一つになってこういう活動をすることでこういう活動をより広めて当たり前のようにやっていけるように
I want to make giving back part of football. Help football feel good about itself again. I want to change the game for good.
Thank you.
1%.
Yeah, 1%. The idea behind Common Goal is really simple. It's about football. Every euro that is generated thanks to commercializing the game, to invest 1 cent of it into a collective impact fund.
In an industry worth 50 billion, this would translate into 500 million every year of collective investment, detached from egos and brands, exclusively focusing on the impact.
When we started just 2 years ago, there was many people out there, especially in the football industry itself, that told us, "You're crazy, this will never work."
Being called crazy sounds familiar to me.
Over the last 2 years now, as you could see in the video, over 130 professional athletes have teamed up to change the world through football.
These players are not different than the rest of humanity.
Yeah, and actually all other stakeholders are starting to join. So there is institutional leaders like the UEFA president, there is journalists, there is agents, there's whole clubs joining with the idea of 1%, which in itself naturally is a collective effort. It doesn't sound like much, right?
But if everyone gets behind it, change the game.
So maybe we just do an exercise quickly here. So it's not 15,000 people here, but maybe 10. So if we translated that into like the accumulated 1% of all of you together, just who we are in the room today, would probably make close to?
Nearly 3.5 million.
Taking the EU income as an average. But it's just an exercise. Let's translate that into what would that mean. Like if we all decided now to give 1% of our earnings into a collective fund, we could actually, through Spirit of Soccer in Iraq, for example, we could enable education for 250,000 children in regards to unexploded landmines.
In the United States, according to the American scores, it provides football kits, classroom supplies for over 70,000 young kids. And in England, it gives 250,000 people suffering from disability the chance to play a game and to be part of a team.
If we look at India, the Oscar Foundation, like 10,000 young people could have access to travel, clothes, shoes, and education for a whole year.
While with Malaika in the Democratic Republic of Congo, 190,000 young girls could have 2 health checks per year.
So, and this is just, or would just be us in this room in 1 year. So now imagine how that would look like if it went beyond us.
What if it was not only about pledging 1% of our salary, but 1% of our time? To make it more simple, what if everyone here in this room could donate 90 minutes per week, the length of a football game, to change the world?
Again, if we apply it to this room, it would make round about 1 million hours in just 1 year. Then imagine there's 3 billion football fans out there. You can do the math on that, but it roughly would take us to 100 million full-time equivalent workforce by 2030.
Football has the biggest global collective tackling the challenges of our times.
And all we need is not just us, but everyone. Let's have a look and listen to Megan Rapinoe.
Yes, we're female athletes, but we're so much more than that. You're so much more than that. You're more than a fan. You're more than someone who just supports sports. You're more than someone who tunes in every 4 years. You're someone who walks these streets every single day. You interact with your community every single day. How do you make your community better? How do you make the people around you better? Your family, your closest friends, the 10 closest people to you, the 20 closest people to you, the most 100 closest people to you. But it's time to come together. This conversation is at the next step. We have to collaborate. It takes everybody. This is my charge to everybody. Do what you can. Do what you have to do. Step outside yourself. Be more, be better, be bigger than you've ever been before. If this team is any representation of what you can be when you do that, please take this as an example.
Fast forward to 2030.
We already know that most probably we won't achieve the global goals.
Some may already think game over. I want to believe that it could be game on.
And we're only looking at the football industry. Now imagine 500 million per year, just 1% of what football generates per year. Think about 100 million full-time workforce to contribute to people beyond ourselves, 90 minutes at a time.
Setting a new path, changing the mindset, redefining what success is for us as a team, as a society, as humanity.
Imagine if we understood contribution as an indicator of success, like as a currency, acknowledged it and rewarded it as society.
Moving from setting global goals and fixing problems and giving back to giving forward, caring and sharing as a new normal.
And understanding the SDGs not as goals that we set ourselves for a certain period, but as the game itself. True, if we fail with the global goals by 2030, but we might have changed the world, maybe forever. We have it in our hands, we believe. We have 10 years to go to get it right, and the clock is ticking.
2030 is not only the moment of truth in regards to the global goals. It is also the year of the biggest collective celebration, the 100 years anniversary of the Football World Cup. Imagine this World Cup to be the showcase of what we can achieve as a team. Football will not change the world. We can do it as one big team.
So this is our commitment. In the name of football to the world, we will make the 1% contribution of the football industry a norm by 2030. If you are participating, any of you in the football industry, please join us. Help lead the way. Second thing, we will create and launch a marketplace where the willingness to contribute of anybody will meet the solutions you can contribute to in a meaningful way. Stay tuned, this will be Give 90, and it will be soon available. And obviously, it's also an invitation to the tech community to support us to build the best possible tool to make that work. We're talking about unlocking 100 million full-time workforce by 2030 to contribute to people and planet. Let's not continue sitting on the sidelines and get into the game. It's on all of us. Thank you very much.